Hey there, folks. It's been some time since my last video. I've kind of been heads down, definitely not ignoring the market, but heads down developing a lot of indicators, rebranding some things, moving stuff around, and preparing to launch a Discord community. So appreciate the patience. I know it's been a while, and I think I've replied to a handful of you that have reached out, but I've largely just been heads down trying to get this done. And I think I mentioned in a much older video now, market really wasn't giving a whole lot of interesting new characteristics. So the nature of my videos, the intraday breakdowns kind of became monotonous and repetitive, and I don't want to bore anybody. We got some changes in the presidential administration's completely different, and we got things like Doge and just all kinds of things being, really shaken to their core. And the markets have been seeing some volatility with tariffs and everything else that, whatever else comes to Donald Trump's mind. So I thought, hey, some of these tools I've been putting together. It's a great application, I think, for most people looking for a little maybe education on how to address a changing market. And I'm honored for anybody that wants to join the community and placing their hard-earned attention and time for any kind of contributions they want to add to this community. So to start, you can find the Discord link for my latest X posts. If you click on that, there's a couple things that you have to do first. I've been in many other Discords that just don't get this part right, and the Discord is bombed to hell. And it's just leaves a bad taste in my mouth and hopefully I don't get this, but bad taste in my mouth when a server gets annihilated by bot armies and everything else. So I'm hoping I don't have that problem. I've been working very hard to tighten up the security on this thing and make sure we don't get a bunch of spammers and other scammer type crap in here. So I do have a background in cybersecurity, software development, and so I'm hoping that my experience in over a decade of that field, that I can skip that part of Discord community ownership. So first thing, read through the welcome channel, please. I put some time into that, and you can screenshot this link if you'd like. If you don't want to go to X or don't have an X account, that's fine. This will get you into the Discord. Next thing you will have to do is verify that you're human. And while this is not a perfect method for doing so, it goes a long way. And the last step is to go to rules and ensure you have checked this emoji here. Do not check it if you don't agree to the rules. If you don't agree to the rules, please leave. I'm not really gonna mess around with any rule breakers. So I want a mature community with no degeneracy. I mean, we're obviously can have a good time, but yeah, just very clearly, not a financial advisor. Nothing in this Discord or anywhere else from myself or perhaps anybody in the future that might gain the role of speaking on behalf of trade seekers also will not be a financial advisor. So this is all purely educational, and yeah, as the rules say. So you click that, and you will gain access to our secret chat channel, where you can come in and see just like a free chat. I want to offer something, and I'm thinking about adding some more things in here, but for free. But I put a lot of my time into this, and I've had a lot of encouragement to at least try to um, capture an audience that is going to see the value in what I've created. So there is a small fee for the different tiers. There's 3 tiers, And the first tier actually offers the most for folks, honestly, that could do day trading, swing trading, probably even investments, just a ton of stuff. And the next two are tiers are going to be for beta and development indicators. And I'm looking to allow folks to provide commentary on the development. You could totally steer how the thing that is being developed ends up coming out for the release. And there'll be some other special rewards as well for anybody that's supporting my efforts and the community's efforts in that way. So there's also some automated bot signals. Now I say signals, but you can think of them as trade ideas. So I never want to give anybody the idea that these things are. Yeah, there's no guarantee with them. So the final tier has access to some more broad uh, dashboarding type tools that are still hosted within TradingView for regime monitoring. So if you aren't sure about the Discord um, premium content, you can request a trial. So it's just one time, it lasts for 1 week. You will get the trial role, and the trial role will give you access to everything. And it'll show all three tiers, all the content, and you can go and look for yourself and decide if it's something that you see the value in, and if not, that's totally fine. I'm not uh, going to be upset, and I'm certainly not going to force anybody to buy anything. So from me or anyone else, I have some links to some of the common indicators that I share in my YouTube videos in case you're not be able to find those through other means. Those will be here, and I'm hoping other people will share some things as well in here. Uh, we'll have a trading floor for premium members, and this is where we'll be able to really share a lot of charts, really exchange intraday ideas and all kinds of things. And I'll probably slip some stuff into secret chat as well. Squawkbox is our news bot. So we get Newsbot, and this is not the replacement for Bloomberg Terminal by any stretch of the imagination, but it is pretty darn fast, actually. I've paid some money for this to get these tweets from a handful of different accounts, supposedly within 1 to 2 seconds, which obviously that's not going to work for high frequency traders, but it could work for a handful of occasions. It actually did kind of save one of my trades yesterday. We will have what I'm calling kind of like a strategy lab and shop talk section. This is going to be where we talk about combining all the different tools that we have and creating a more robust um, outlook on all kinds of different strategies. I'll also be hosting, if there's enough interest, programming sessions. So I've been in the industry for not quite 20 years, I guess, but I've been in for quite a long time. And I know that everybody has ideas on different indicators or data analysis. And so I thought it would be a unique offering and something fun to do to help people learn how to make their own indicators or other things. I plan on branching out to Python, like Jupyter Notebooks, and other kind of data analysis outside of TradingView because you can only go so far with that really, but I've managed to stretch it quite far. So that'll be in here, and just to give you kind of an overview for the first tier. So there's a unique system that I have built, and I've only shared it privately with a handful of friends, and it's called the 505 indicator. You'll gain access to this very unique system. There isn't anything else out there that's like this. You can think of it as kind of a classification engine, and I've built it over the last couple of years, and it's quite compelling. So I'm really excited to share this with people, maybe more than, than some of the other things. I've just been sitting on this for so long, and so many people that use it love it and can't have a chart without it. So this will be really nice. And let's see here. I'll give you a little peek here at one of the guides. So it breaks down the purpose, all the available settings, how to interpret concepts, and of course we get visual examples. And I'll be adding a lot more examples to this. And of course, if you're in the trading floor, you'll see me use these tools, and we can of course have more discussions within threads on these channels, or anything else. So there's a lot more tools in here. There's, like I said, bots for different strategies. You heard my trading view just kick off there, apologies. So you get access to all that with a trial for, like I said, for just 1 week. So that's the 5 business days. You'll get access to that, and yeah, really excited to see you all join. So I got a couple of folks that have joined already, and yeah, it sounds like it's going to be fun, and I'm hoping everybody gains something from joining and reaching out and talking to me off and on, and talking to each other, and hopefully building a nice community. So we'll flip over to a little preview of some of the offerings within the premium content here. And so these are a handful of offerings. Well, not this one actually. This one's not listed. I got about 20 indicators listed, if I didn't mention that. And I stopped there, even though I've got another probably 20 more, because I got to get this Discord launched, and I'll just keep pumping these out as I as I get the time. So definitely patience, please, for anybody that joins. And these are some of the regime filters. So what is a regime filter? It's a tool, a way for modeling the state of the market. So you hear bullish, bearish, volatile, choppy. You've heard all those terms. How do you quantify that? How do you classify it? Whatever language you want to use, you got to do it in a consistent manner, and it has to be something that actually provides compelling results. Otherwise, it's not really worth that much. So a couple of regime filters that I have are for measuring volume and price with a little bit of special sauce mixed in. And so the aim of this obviously is not to find exact entries and exits. It's to be something you use to combine with other strategies. Of course, it might find entries and exits, but that's up to you how you want to use it. I use it to guide certain strategies I have that rely on momentum, rely on strong directional strength. If I don't have that, those strategies will die very hard and very fast. Ask me how I know. But this regime filter tells me when things are going to be potentially more of a bullish and more of a strong directional up market. And so this is one of them. You can, of course, as with most of my other indicators, customize this to your heart's content. It's not designed for intraday, although I have found some good applications on different time frames, futures and non-futures. We also have another indicator here that tracks deviations of volume. This one is the one plotting the dots here. Dots above trend are usually strong bottoms. Dots at the bottom of candles above trend are strong bottoms, potentially. And dots on the bottoms of candles below trend can sometimes provide a bounce before more downside or maybe something else. And so the most important aspect is really just showing where the strong market is in a way that your eyes can easily see it. And it's not just any volume spike. Specifically, it's a volume that has broken standard deviations. So that's another tool. And then I've got another one here that monitors the relationship specifically between, for my backtesting anyways, SPY and the volatility market. So this one aims to give a little bit more of a shorter, like by month time frame for risk on, risk off. And once this thing goes quiet, that's usually a risk off as far as ups. It's all upside looking. It doesn't consider downside. So some pretty compelling results with these filters. If you were, say, trading in a tax efficient account and you wanted to preserve some of your holdings from immense drawdown, in February, we see the VRF volume regime filter, which is this guy here, starts painting a different picture, saying, hey, the regime is changing in the market. We get little messaging from the deviations until this day here. Coincidentally, it's the same day that the volatility regime tells you risk off. And so if you were in from even say here, you're pretty much breaking even if you didn't take anything up here. If you're in from back here, you're saving yourself some. There's lots of ways to break this down, of course, different time frames, but the idea is that whatever this move is, let's say from the 50, we've got a good protection of about 8%, 50 points on SPY, so that's pretty good. And of course, you can bump this out to a weekly time frame, and I think multi-time frame analysis is definitely something important to review. This is no different. So um, anyways, these are some of the tools, and we're going to pop over here real quick. Another big announcement or big offering is some new statistical modeling tools using the historical data of whatever symbol you decide to chart in here. This one is for opening range. So I made a video on the channel for the quote-unquote orb method, which is the opening range breakout. Lots of different times people use the 15, the first 5 minutes of the opening session, the first 30. I have watched what's referred to as the initial balance, which is the first 1 hour candle of regular trading hours. That one is my favorite by far for, like that one big trade per day. And this model allows you to configure it for any opening range. So you can set this to whatever you like. I've got it set for the first hour. And what it does is it tracks all the range statistics, the performance against those statistics. And I have just been loving this because it really helps me simplify my trade plan. I combine this with breadth data to decide to even trade this model. So yesterday I actually did this trade here. So we had a perfectly near average size range of 37, almost 38 points against an average of 35. So that's really darn close. And once the bull bias was set, this range was broken. And at that point, I can expect 74% of the time the range to stay bullish, meaning it might break back in, might retrace back in, but once it has broken outside, it's established a bull bias, it's not going to come back this side. So then I look at my retracement statistics here. So I know that on average, once the bull range bias has been set, I get a 10-point retracement from range high. So we get roughly a $10.44 10-point retracement, which is what this plot represents here. And this is about where I entered. So this one took a little while, and I think the Squawk bot on the new Discord had shown that Trump talked about being more lenient on his tariffs. So tariff day is coming April 2nd. And what do you know? Right here against this plot, SPX ran up about 24 points. And it closed roughly right around there as well. So these stats really come in handy. I've got some breadth tools for the members. So this is one of them, tracks the spiders. So I've got other models in here on other layouts. And this is just one of the breadth tools I use. This one shows me that the spiders were exceptionally strong yesterday and gave me very good confidence to hold this trade through what was about I think, a half hour or so of chop before we had this final burst up to the end of the day. So, and if you're wondering why my candles look somewhat erratic, these are volume candles on TradingView. I actually really love these. It allows me to see where the big volume is planting per price. So it's a good one. But yeah, so going back to this day here, we see it's much smaller range. So these statistics might not be as applicable as, say, how they were on this day. So this tool also gives you access to weekday stats. And I'll tell you another reason why yesterday was such a good trade for me is that I know specifically on Mondays there's an 83% single break chance. So Mondays, and specifically Mondays and Fridays are also Fridays are real good for that. So this is the kind of information that will be made available to you. Of course, we can adjust this to up to 1,000 days. I think I've been able to fit. I had to use a different chart time frame, but that's some powerful data. So you can get that by signing up in the community, and there's a lot more. Turn this back off, and let's see here. We also have so we also have a TWAP model. TWAP, if you watch the channel, you know it's an indicator I developed, completely unique. It's somewhat like VWAP, but it's based on the New York Stock Exchange tick. If you so choose, you can adjust this to NASDAQ. And this was yesterday's trade. So right here, where we were basing on the average retracement level per the opening range, the initial balance model was right about here. And I knew that if there was going to be any upside at this point, this is the best buy here. We're close to that first negative deviation on TWAP. We're buying the strong selling, and we're above prior day's TWAP range. We're outside of the range, so we have established a bull bias there. We know the spiders are strong, and we know the top lick was strong for all kinds of reasons. And then also, so this is a tick meter indicator that is provided to the members, and this is another indicator I've shown once or twice before on old videos, Market Breadth Analyst. This one is a absolutely insane tool, and right here we see that even though we're getting this strong tick, we're still at 1200 advancement and not quite a 3-to-1 volume ratio for the market. So just an incredibly discounted area potentially, and obviously it worked out quite well. So this is just kind of a preview. I wanted to share with the YouTube community. Folks that have reached out pretty much all said they like my videos, so I wanted to make sure you guys got to see some things, some offerings. And I'll be holding some contests. Folks that do try out the trial, or maybe have a membership for a while, maybe they can't afford it or something. I'm looking for ways to give back to the community, so I'll probably be giving some lifetime access to some of the indicators, not all of them, for certain folks that kind of really help build a community up. So that's what I have, folks. I'm going to be, now that I'm done with all of this work, I will be coming back into making some more regular videos. So we kind of got a spicy market here, as long as VIX doesn't completely dry up. And so, yeah, stay tuned for that. Again, if you join, I can't wait to talk to you. Can't wait to share some ideas and just see what you're doing. So thanks again, and I hope to see you in the Discord. And as always, happy trading.